great snake Ananta,
Talte,
Talte,
on the bed of Adhishana, sorry, Adhishayanah,
Adhishayanah,
lying on Ekaha,
Ekaha,
alone,
alone,
Kritakshanaha,
Kritakshanaha,
being engaged, Swaatmarato,
Swaatmarato,
enjoying in his internal potency,
enjoying in his eternal potency,
Nirihaha,
Nirihaha,
without any part of external energy.
without any part of external energy.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder and Acharya of ISKCON. At that time, when the three worlds were submerged in water, Garbhodakashai Vishnu was alone, lying on his bedsheet, the great snake Ananta, and although he appeared to be in slumber, in his own internal potency, free from the action of the external energy, his eyes were not completely closed. Purport. The Lord is eternally enjoying transcendental bliss by his internal potency, whereas the external potency is suspended during the time of the dissolution of the cosmic manifestation. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Vadamanyam Dadati Swapadamikam Vandeham Shri Purā Shri Utapadakamala Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sadhujatam Sahagana Raghunathan Sankam Sadvaitam Sadhutam Parimana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitanscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitirame Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarne Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here Garbhodiksha Vishnu is been explained. So how he is lying on his bed sheet, that is the great snake Ananta with his unlimited hoods. So Lord is lying on Ananta Shesha, and he is in slumber in his own internal potency. So Yoga Nidra we call. So Lord is lying down, and here it is explained. So internal potency is still there. So he is enjoying bliss. In the purport, Prabhupada explains that how Lord is enjoying bliss through his internal potency, but external potency is suspended. Suspended means it is not manifest for the time being. So if we see material world, if it has to be described in one word, it is temporary. So Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita with the word Ashashvatam. Elsewhere in some other words also in the Bhagavad Gita itself, Krishna uses the word Anityam. So Anityam means temporary. So it is one of the energies of the Lord, manifestation of one of the energies of the Lord. So Lord has many energies. In Upanishads it is told Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruyate. Vividha means many energies, and they act Lord, they assist Lord in his various activities. So basically, primarily there are three potencies. One is the internal potency, the second is the marginal potency, and the third is external potency. So material world is manifestation of this external potency. So we can see in material world everything is temporary. From an apple to the universe, everything remains for some time and it gets destroyed. So we can see our own bodies also. So they get created at certain point and then they are destroyed eventually. So like this, anything we can take in material world, everything is subject to destruction. So we might see different dynasties, different empires, everything. So now this civilization also which is going on, so one or the other day it will get destroyed. It is just like now we see so many big buildings, so many skyscrapers, and all these things, nice roads. Then we have different airports and different things are created, but it is just temporary. It can be like Prabhupada once he compared it to uh, the earthworms. So how earthworms get destroyed. So we can see it in our present life. We might not see how this civilization may end eventually, but we can see earthworms. What do? They gather lot of mud from the from the earth, or earth they gather, and then they are destroyed actually. So we can see that in our lifetime. So similarly, this civilization, if we see, so many big buildings are built. So buildings are built. So it may appear big, but it is the same thing. So eventually they will be destroyed. So everything will be destroyed. So like this, we can see this. We can get a glimpse of how it can get destroyed. We can get an idea through this coronavirus. So coronavirus has showing its effect on this civilization. So big nations like America, so they are also shattered. So like that, through the agent of the Lord. So the Lord can, in any way, he can destroy the world. So everything will get destroyed. So material world is like that. And basically it's explained in Bhagavad Gita. So it is created, maintained and destroyed. So we can see in Bhagavad Gita, basically one thing is in relation to destruction happens at different stages. So generally like in Shastras it's explained. So destruction happens at different stages, and again it is created. For instance, in Bhagavad Gita it is explained that how every day of Brahma there is creation. So first the lifetime of Brahma is explained in the verse 8.17. Does anyone know the verse? Does anyone remember? Sahasra yuga paryantam ahar yad brahmano vidu ratram yuga sahasrani teno brahma vido juna. So like that. So sahasra, teho ratra vido janaha. Sahasra yuga paryantam. So here yuga means it is basically it is here yuga means it is 1000 cycles. It is basically chatur yuga. Sorry here. So here yuga means chatur yuga. Sahasya yuga means 1000 cycles of this chatur yuga, means Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. So this what had happened. This is ahar yad brahmano vidu. Brahmano means it is Brahma's ahar, one daytime. Then ratrim yuga sahasrantam teho ratra vido janaha. So ratrim yuga sahasrantam, again 1000 cycles of this chatur yuga make one night of Brahma. So like that we have to understand. So like this is one whole day of Brahma, and Brahma lives for 12 months. Means he stays for 100 years. So like that, if we calculate according to this, so Brahma's lifetime is very great. So after Brahma's lifetime, what happens? In the next verse it is explained. Sorry, after Brahma's one day. Avyakta vyakta sarva prabhavantyah agame ratra agame praliyante tatre vavyakta samnyate. Avyakta vyaktaya sarva. So in the previous basically her dissolution which is explained is the dissolution which happens in a day of Brahma. In the beginning of the day Brahma creates, and at the night again it is destroyed. Of course not all of the universe is destroyed. So basically the lower planetary systems, it is told, it is destroyed. So because Brahma is there in the higher planetary systems. So he will live for 100 years, but the lower planetary systems they get destroyed. So again, upon destruction, what will happen? Again, it is created for the next day, and again in the night it is destroyed. So in the next verse, Krishna explains that Bhuta Grama sa evayam bhutva bhutva pradiyate. Bhutva bhutva means again and again they take birth. So living beings especially. So when Brahma creates, what happens? Living beings are given opportunity to to receive a body and to do their activities. So what happens? Bhutva bhutva means again and again they take birth and again pradiyate, again they are destroyed. Then ratragame vashapartha prabhavantyah ragame. So when the night comes, they are destroyed, again they are created in the morning. So like that we can see. So this material world, again in this verse Krishna is explaining as bhutva bhutva pradiyate. So means again it is created and again it is destroyed. It is created and destroyed. So this is one stage of creation and dissolution. And then after Brahma's lifetime is over, that is for 100 years. So that time the entire universe is destroyed. So it's told in Brahma Samhita that Brahma's lifetime is the duration for which Brahma exhales. So exhales or inhales, whatever it is. So when Brahma exhales, what happens? All these universes come from the pores of his body, unlimited universes. So and then when he inhales, all the universes again go back into him. So this duration of his breath is the lifetime of Brahma. So this is when the complete dissolution happens. So now we are talking about temporary dissolution. So in this verse it is told Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So that time what happened? The external potency was suspended. That means material world was not manifest at that time. So when Mahavishnu he inhales all the universes, so that time for the duration of his breath, that is for the same duration of the lifetime of Brahma, so the living entities are in the body of Mahavishnu. So that means they are not they are just there in unmanifest state. They are not doing any activities. So like this we can see Lord Krishna, he is again and again creating and destroying these things. So what is it is just like a spider example. So if you see spider, it spins its web. So it uses its own saliva to make it. So it creates it, and again whenever it wants, it will withdraw it within itself. It will bind it. So similarly Mahavishnu, so he is creating all the universes, again he is taking back. So but why is he doing that? He is doing because he wants to give the living entities an opportunity to get liberated. So this material nature, so is like it is giving an opportunity to the living entities to enjoy. So this world is created so that living entities can enjoy, they can fulfill their desires. And another reason is so they can go back to Godhead. So we are all engaged in this material world. So if you see, we are taking birth and we are dying. So that means we are subject to punishment. So this is material energy is punishment to the living entities. So living entities, they are taking birth and they are dying means this is miserable condition. But the living entity is eternal. So the living entity is given an opportunity to complete his devotional service in this life. So like this, so Lord's energy acts in two different ways. So one is Mahamaya and one is Yogamaya. So especially Mahamaya means she acts in such a way that we forget Krishna. So we are all living entities, but we think that we are the bodies. In Srimad Bhagavatam it is told Yaya samohitam jiva Yaya atmanam trigunatmakaha. So that means samohita means bewildered. The living entities are bewildered into thinking that So they are these material bodies. Atmanam means so the self. So we are thinking that we are made up of these three modes, or we are made up of this energy of Lord, material energy. So everyone thinks differently. So one person thinks he is Brahmana, another person thinks he is Kshatriya, another person thinks he is Shudra. So like that, Yog Maya bewilders all the living entities into thinking like this. And everyone thinks that so he is the creator, he is the enjoyer. So but they don't know that ultimately Lord is controlling the living entity and the Jiva and the material energy also. So if you see, we may see a pilot working very wonderfully, but then if we see behind the pilot, we might see an aeroplane working very wonderfully, but behind the aeroplane there is a pilot. So similarly, behind this material world, there is Lord behind it. So Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, in 9.10 he explains, Maya Dyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam Hetu Nanena Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartate. So like that, the Lord is directing the material energy. Directing means he is controlling. So how? So just like we are controlling this body. So the body doesn't move unless the soul is present in it. So similarly, this material world, this material universe, so it is unconscious. So it is basically matter. But Lord, he enters it and makes it function. So first he enters into material energy as Mahavishnu. Then he enters, so Mahavishnu creates different universes, which are again expansions, which are again different forms of material energy, manifestation of material energy. And the Lord, Mahavishnu expands himself as Garbhodaksha Vishnu. He enters into them. And again he enters into all the atoms within this universe. So like this, Krishna is entering into these things. So in Bhagavad Gita, in 9.8, Krishna is telling, what is that verse? He is explaining in Bhagavad Gita 9.8 that how he enters into all these material universes. Prakritim Swam Avishtabhya. So Swam means it is his own energy. Avashtabhya means he is entering. Visrajami Puna Puna. So like that he is creating again and again. So like this we can see. So the material energy is not independent. So Lord basically, so he makes creation happen again and again. So because he wants to give the living entities a chance for reformation. So this material world is compared to a jail. Just like prison house is created by the king or by the government to punish the living entities and to give another opportunity to them so that they can come back to their normal function. So in their constitutional position as the servants of government, whatever it is. So similarly, God has created this material world to give an opportunity to living entities. So Lord's energy is basically one. So Krishna explains, we may say it is like Maha Maya and Yoga Maya. So as we see from the Shastras, the living entities who are there in the material world, on them Lord's energy in the name of Mahamaya acts. Mahamaya means, so it makes them to suffer. So just like if you see, it is basically Durga Devi. So Mahamaya basically she gives lot of suffering to the living entities. So Durga Devi, she has different weapons and one of them is Trishul. Trishul means she is giving punishment. So basically her function is to punish the living entities. So because they have forgot the Lord, so that they will understand. So by this suffering they will seek out what is the real, how can I be happy? So they will ask question and then they will refer to the Shastras and then it will be understood that how in Shastra it is explained that the living entities are made to suffer in this material world and it is a plan of the Lord. So like this the living entities will surrender to Lord. So this is the basic function of the external potency of the Lord. It will trouble the living entities so that they will surrender to the Lord. But this living and this Mahamaya is non-different from internal potency in one sense. So as explained by Prabhupada often in his books and lectures, that just like energy is energy, so example is electrical energy, it may act as heat and light. So similarly, Lord's energy acts as Yogamaya to those living entities who have not forgot the Lord, who are still surrendered to Lord, and she acts differently on conditioned souls, that is we in the people, we in the material world who are suffering, who are there. So Yoga Maya means she is like the energy which acts on Yashoda Mai, on Radharani. So they are also controlled ultimately. So no one is independent, but they are controlled in the sense they are controlled. The energy makes them surrender to Krishna. Always remember Krishna. So, but we, the living entities. So Yogamaya, she punishes us. So this is the way she acts. So she acts differently. So that we understand that this material world is temporary and ultimately dukhalayam. So it is not just temporary. So one may say, so it is temporary, still I will stay here, but then we are subject to suffering all the time. So this is reminded to us by Lord's external potency. So we can see in Bhagavad Gita, so when Arjuna saw this material manifestation, so it is told Brahmasama. What is it? So in Bhagavad Gita again, 11th chapter, verse number 15. So it is explained. He sees Brahma sitting on the lotus petal. 11.15. Kamalasanastam. Brahmanam Isham Kamalasanastam. So he is seeing the Lord Brahma sitting on Kamalasana. So Arjuna saw this. So in the Parpat, Prabhupada very nicely explains. So Arjuna could see this sitting at one place. So sitting at one place, we can see the entire universe from top to bottom. So this is possible when one surrenders to the Lord. So basically, this creation is made so that we study the creation and understand how great is God. So Mahavishnu, if we see, if we try to imagine how big is Lord Brahma, so then we'll surrender to him. So this is the plan. By studying the creation, we understand the greatness of Krishna. As Krishna explains, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. So one who understands that how Lord Krishna is pervading the entire universe, how everything has come from him, so then he will surrender to Krishna. So indeed this is the reason. So in Bhagavad Gita we can see in 15th chapter, so this source of this material world is explained. So this material world, so it is a shadow. Shadow means what it is? So reality is there. So shadow is nothing but the reality seen in some form. So just like if we go in the sun in the afternoon, we see our form, our shadow on the ground. So similarly, the material world is shadow of the spiritual world, where everything is eternal. So this material world is explained like a banyan tree, inverted banyan tree. So inverted banyan tree means it is a reflection of the real banyan tree, which is the spiritual world. So we can't see this actually. So material world means this inverted banyan tree we can't see anywhere, but this could be seen in the reflection of the water. So if we see on the river bed or at some lake, if we go and if we see besides the lake, so in the lake, so whatever is there besides the lake is reflected within the lake. So there might be different trees, and the trees are seen as though they are roots are top, and roots of course we can't see. Basically, it is seen that the branches are at the bottom. So it is something like it's a inverted banyan tree. So the banyan tree, it is basically, Krishna is telling here that it is imaginary, or it is temporary. So temporary means it is subject, it is created and it is destroyed. So Lord's energy is eternal, but its manifestation is temporary, just like example is given. So the potter, so he is making many pots. So he is making pots. The earth which he is using, the clay, it is eternal, but the pots are temporary. Pots are created and then they will again get destroyed, and again the same clay he will take and again he will create. So like that. So material world is temporary means, so it is manifested, it is created and it is destroyed. So like this. So in the words Prabhupada explains very nicely. So we have to cut this attachment to this material world. So understanding that it is temporary, that means we have to listen from Shastras, we have to listen from devotees, so who are in knowledge of the nature of this material world, and then we have to understand that how Krishna is the source, and then we have to surrender to Krishna. So then we can become free from this material world, which is temporary and full of suffering. So like this we can see the Lord creates and destroys this material world. So because he wants to give opportunity to the living entities. So Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate. So like that the living entities are given an opportunity to end their miserable existence in this material world. So like this, so we understand from this verse that how different dissolutions are created, and the living entity again is helplessly killed, and he is given again opportunity to take birth and conduct his activities to understand Lord and ultimately surrender to him. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So any questions, comments?